wing with Paul and Edwards back. And the forwards, Cowie, Martin Hall, O'Connor, Quinnell, Cassidy and Horton. And on the bench, it's Rob Smythe, Andrew Johnson, Andy Craig and Martin Dermott. The coach is Graham West. Only Andy Farrell is out, recovering from a hernia operation. Now the St Helens team, and one or two of these names will be unfamiliar to you. There are 16, no fewer than 16 recognised first-teamers absent today. Arnold is the fullback, Riley, Haig, O'Loughlin and Prescott. Waring and Vivers is the captain at scrum half. Up front, it's Andy Latham, Gareth Cunningham, Nick Devine, Anderson and Morley, and Simon Booth at the back of the scrum. And on the bench for St Helens, James Arkwright, Richard Shield, Paul Matheson and Martin Walker. And the coach, Eric Hughes, says the injury crisis is genuine and there are only fit men in the club are out there on the field today. Today's match referee is Stuart Cummings, who will remember 1995, the year that he refereed the World Cup final at Wembley. So Wigan against Saints, Stones Bitter Centenary Championship match, last one ever on Boxing Day, and the Saints get us underway. Straight to Sean Edwards and Jason Robinson with the first run of this match. A difficult afternoon for St Helens, so many youngsters coming into the match for the first time. 7 debutants in all in the list of 17 players, and Eric Hughes just hoping that they will do the club and themselves proud here this afternoon. The early tackling and 3 tackles gone for Wigan has been pretty good by the young St Helens side.
As long as they can keep that up, it'll be fine. Great tension out there, tremendous crowd. Oh, and a swinging arm there from Cunningham.
Last tackle, 37 metres made by the Wigan side, and Martin Hall eyeballs Cunningham as the kick downfield is picked up by Danny Arnold. Great chase from Twigamala and Nick Cassidy, but great work also from Arnold.
There you see the swinging arm from the hooker, Gareth Cunningham, looking to get away with that one. But it's obvious that the Saints have come and they mean business. It really is an uphill struggle for these youngsters. But you never know. Capacity crowd here at Central Park. They're looking forward to a cracker. I think we're going to get it.
And this St Helens side will be lifted, of course, by the atmosphere. That's Paul Anderson. Scott Quinnell wrestles him to the floor. Cunningham, the dummy half. Not the usual Kieran Cunningham, but Gareth Cunningham. And it's Kieran's nephew who gets to his feet and plays the ball now to Kevin O'Loughlin. He finds Vivers. Captain for the day, Vivers, and his kick. Well, Martin Afire wasn't interested in that.
Rather surprised me there. Martin Afire had all the time in the world to get his foot to that. And you can see from the high shot that he had plenty of space to move in. Important that Phil Vivers takes control of this game. An experienced head. He knows what it's all about, and he knows what the tension that the youngsters will be going through.
Vivers, the captain for the day. Head-to-head between these two, 43 games have been played. Wigan 24 wins, the Saints 16. And the Saints caught offside at the play of the ball. Quick penalty for Wigan, taken by Edwards.
Edwards keen to get on with it. See there that Stuart Cummings had picked out at least 2 of the Saints players. And we saw again the hooker, Gareth Cunningham. He's walking a tightrope. That was a pretty high tackle again.
Well, the man of the moment in many ways, of course, is Eric Hughes, who has pushed the youngsters into this match. He's talking to Bill Arthur downstairs.
Eric, this is a heck of a challenge for these youngsters of St Helens, isn't it?
Yeah, particularly, we wouldn't obviously by choice put them all in at once like we had done coming here, but they've started well. They've played the first set of 6. There's a lot of enthusiasm, but they're playing with a lot of cover, and with a lot of good kids at St Helens at the moment, and all to want to do today. Perhaps a victory is too much to expect, but I want to walk away with the club being well represented, and I'm sure these kids will give it the best they've got, and that's all I can ask from them. I'm sure I'll get that.
You must have some big injury problems for there to be 7 debutants out there.
Yeah, we've got massive injury problems. Of the starting 13, there's only 4 debutants, and they've got to learn sometime. Obviously, there's no harder lesson than this one. Yeah, we've got big problems in the camp. Unfortunately, we've been playing twice a week, and again at Castle we've picked up several injuries. the lads are on treatment twice a week. Obviously we'll get some ready for the semi, but we're not going to get them all ready. We'll just name the side on Friday and see how we come through.
Eric, thanks for talking to us.
Pleasure.
Eric Hughes, speaking to him earlier today, Steve always said he felt like a man waiting for the gallows.
He's on a hiding for nothing, isn't he, really? A lot of fans perhaps will think that he's saving his players. Well, we'll all have to wait and see next weekend as to what the outcome of all those injuries are. But up to now, in the first 4 minutes, the youngsters of Saints have acquitted themselves well.
Little run there from Anderson again. The dummy half is Steve Prescott, normally a fullback this season, but playing today on the wings. One of the few players in the blue and white stripes with recognised first-team experience. That was O'Loughlin who was the dummy half. And here's a high up and under from Phil Vevers. Big test here for Connolly, but he takes the ball cleanly behind the line, diffuses the bomb, tap on the quarter.
It was a good kick though from Phil Vevers, and you could see that it's quite slippy out there.
And Robinson, having been fed by a fire, they took a very quick tap, did Wigan, and wanted to get on with the job. And Robinson eventually is wrestled to the floor. Connolly is the man in the dummy half, former St Helens player, of course. Paul to Edwards. Paul takes it back. This is Simon Horton. Tackling coming in there from Andy Haig, another man with some first-team experience. Edwards to Quinnell. Back to Cowie. And Cowie drops the ball. It went backwards, says the referee. Play on. The run from O'Connor. Well, he did the St Helens players no favours there. Referee Stuart Cummins, the ball dropped from the grasp of Cowie. This is Cassidy.
A great inside pass there from Sean Edwards.
And Saints penalised at offside.
He allowed the advantage. Not forthcoming in regards to Stuart Cummins. And rightly so, Sean Edwards calms things down. Well, we saw the inexperience of these Saints youngsters there, where Wigan took the very quick tap on their own quarter. That was after Gary Connolly had defused the bomb. And the ball back on the inside. And they'd made no effort there to get back onto the 10 metres. Referee Stuart Cummings allowing the advantage. Non-forthcoming, as we mentioned. Well, it's all happening. There's a buzz around the crowd. Everyone expecting so much for different reasons.
Henry Paul is taking over goal-kicking responsibility now. Andy Farrell is recovering from surgery to correct a hernia problem. And so Henry Paul with those 31 goals this season. 8 goals against Workington, 8 goals in the Regal Trophy against Whitehaven. They've been his best efforts of the season. As you can see, a beautiful day here at Central Park, and the crowds have come out to support this match as they traditionally do. And of course it's the very last one in the big league on Boxing Day. Henry Paul with the penalty attempt, and Wigan take the lead. The champions-elect 2, St Helens 0. The boot of Henry Paul, one of the outstanding members of the big league clan in 1995.
That just shows you the true professionalism of this Wigan side. A lot of the fans perhaps thought that they'd be quite happy to take the quick tap, try to cross them over for a 4-pointer rather than the 2, but the experience of Sean Edwards, quite happy, played in so many of these wonderful derby games. He knows that points on the board early in the game can ease the pressure.
So Connolly restarts after the penalty. And one or two of these St Helens youngsters, they have had experience of Central Park. They played in the pre-season Sevens tournament here. And of course, one or two of them with a victory over Wigan under their belts in the Academy Cup final at Old Trafford last May. But this is a little bit different when you get tackled like that from Twiggamala. O'Loughlin again is the dummy half, running bravely. But the tackle from Cassidy, and O'Connor was in there as well. Now Gareth Cunningham to Phil Vevers. Phil Waring then helps it wider to Simon Booth. Booth unloads well in the tackle. That's Waring again. And Waring kicking, but off on the fall off the outside of his boot.
Won't be happy with that, the standoff. Was put under a lot of pressure. Should have gone way downfield. Perhaps the chase would have been a better option.
Well, Wigan beaten at Oldham last week. It was their second defeat of the season, their first at Oldham in the league for 12 years. The championship ambitions just stuttered a little, but because St Helens fell from grace at Castleford, they're well and truly back on track. And victory today, and again on New Year's Day on Sky Sport, will clinch a 7th title in a row. This is Gary Connolly.
Well, the St Helens defence is getting it right. They're not being sucked into Sean Edwards. They're allowing him just to run across the pace.
Cowie drives the ball in, 9 metres short of the line. Last tackle here. Hall gives it to Edwards. He finds Henry Paul. Paul dabs it through. It bounces back into the arms of Radlinski. And Radlinski, the ball was stolen from him. Now, for mine, Radlinski was about to score there.
Well, that should have been a try. He should award a penalty try.
Absolutely.
He prevented a man from scoring.
And the referee's whistle has gone again.
He's given a forward pass to Quinnell. Well, the Saints fans are happy, but I'm afraid the Wigan fans should not be. Radlinski was home and dry. Now that is a professional foul. It should have gone down as a penalty try.
Look at the strength of Twiggamala. Terrific push from Twiggamala and Cassidy on the young fullback Danny Arnold. St Helens here are in a bit of problems trying to get out of their own 10-metre zone. Cunningham the dummy half. It'll need some strong running, but not just yet.
You've only got to look at this St Helens pack. It is very light indeed. And the way that some of this tackling is going in, it's going to tell late in the game.
That was Booth with a much better run. This is Vivers, and he hands it on wide, and it was risky business, and the Wigan pack get it back again with Cassidy.
Super play by Jason Robinson. See how he came up very quickly there and applied the pressure.
Hall, the dummy half. Helens just hanging off him, so it allows Quinnell to get up ahead of steam. Here's Edwards, looking for the gaps out wide. Paul to Radlinski, and Radlinski drops it again.
He's lost it this time.
He's given.
Yeah, he lost it on that occasion. Lost control of it. You can see there it was a good tackle up top from Mike Riley. Andy Hay, the centre, went low. Impact time. He just lost control. Well, he's gone close twice. One should have been a try. Penalty try indeed, but he lost it then.
Handling errors, 3-1. Wigan have made 3 in the opening 11.5 minutes here. That's a little unusual to say the least. The drive out by the prop forward Nick Devine. Cunningham again, and he decides to go on his own from dummy half. It's good to see that he has the confidence to do that, and as far as I'm aware, it's the first time that Cunningham has played at hooker for St Helens.
Well, they're making a great fist of it, these youngsters. Let's not forget that Wigan do have a lot of youngsters in their side, but they do not have the same experience. 4 debutants, the kick-off for Saints.
Better kick from Vivers, but it's fielded by Robinson, who fancies having a go. And Vivers, the man, following up with the tackle.
Well, the old man showed the way there, didn't he? Go low. Can't run without the legs. Copybook stuff from Vivers.
Hall gives it to O'Connor.
They're doing well, this Saints defence. They're moving out quickly, and they're forcing Wigan down the middle. They're actually forcing them to play one-out football. Not many teams have done that early in the game at Central Park.
The question, of course, is how long can these St Helens youngsters keep this going? Cassidy breaks through one tackle, keeps the legs pumping, nearly gets through the second and third man in. Hall to Edwards. Edwards to Henry Paul. He drew the defender to him. That was touched in flight, but it doesn't matter. It's soccer skills here. The referee has brought it back for the knock-on. Steve Prescott thought he was away.
Good soccer skills. Henry Paul letting the ball out wide. You can see that O'Loughlin went for the intercept. Interesting to see which one can give the head and ball. I would assume it would be Wigan's feed.
It is.
But the centre, Kevin O'Loughlin, he really did take the gamble for the intercept. Nearly came off too.
Straight in and straight out the scrum. This is Twigamala, steps inside Waring, and here goes Vainga Twigamala. He gets the pass away to Radlinski. Radlinski was tackled. He thought about playing it forward to himself, did you notice? That would have been illegal under the new rules. There was nothing illegal about that pass to Cowie. Cowie through one, bounces off another. Robinson has to pick up the ball and then head for the line. He had to turn round and pick it up, but he couldn't be stopped, Robinson. First try of the afternoon for Wigan, and perhaps the first try of many for this Wigan side.
It was always going to be inevitable when Twigamala made the break. It was a super in and out step. There was nothing that Phil Waring could do about it. He put on the speed. They came to him. Radlinski quickly gets up and play the ball, and from here on in there was always going to be a try. Eventually it was Edwards that spotted it. Long ball out wide. Neil Cowie did well there. This tackle by Laughlin. Even though the ball went to ground, Robinson gleefully accepted it and scored the try. But it was that pass out wide from Sean Edwards. Good play there by the prop forward Neil Cowie. And what better way to finish? Jason Robinson, a hard man to stop from any quarter.
Jason Robinson, Great Britain international, England international. He hasn't scored for 3. He has now, number 19 of the season. So Henry Paul, 100% record thus far, 1 out of 1. Ball just falls off the little mountain of sand. Referee stops the clock. So Henry Paul with this conversion attempt. It's on its way, and he's brought his kicking boots with him, hasn't he? Henry Paul adds the extra 2, and it's Wigan 8, St Helens 0. So the Saints will receive the football again from the kick-off. Connolly restarts once more.
Really was super play that. They really deserved that try. Henry Paul running on the angle, bringing back the big centre Twigamala. Just a little switch on the inside. It was enough to just unbalance Phil Waring, and the gap appeared.
Well, the Saints came close twice last season to winning here in cup football. They lost the Regal Trophy quarter-final 24-22. Then they drew 16-all in the Challenge Cup. It was a different St Helens team on duty those days, though, than we see here this afternoon. Error from the St Helens youngsters.
They worked hard to get the outside overlap. I'm afraid that once it was on, they took their eyes off the football.
It was Paul Anderson who dropped the ball. He has got through a lot of work in the opening 17 and a half minutes here. Perhaps the pressure is telling already, as Hall goes on another little run. Devine is there, and so too Andy Hay. Here's Edwards to Paul and Edwards, and Horton hit the gap, and Horton cuts inside, goes round Beavers, gets away from Cunningham first time, then the Saints come buzzing round him. Connolly, the dummy half, through a big dummy, found Henry Paul, man outside him is Quinnell, who will score. Welsh international Scott Quinnell, his 7th try of this season.
Tremendous play by Wigan. They set it up first with a beautiful pass from Sean Edwards, and then from the resulting play the ball. And the big Welshman's hard to stop from that angle. Quick play the ball here, you'll see that Phil Waring went for the intercept. And once the dummy was on, Gary Connolly just set it up there, and the big powerhouse goes over. He'd already gone at Phil Waring, committed himself, Connolly, and this man, Henry Paul, fed the big fella. Not the best attempt at tackling, you must go low on this. This is the Edwards pass to run around. You notice that the Saints defence are coming out from that one line and they're going far too high. And soon as this ball was flicked up, it was always going to be another 4 points for this Wigan outfit.
Well, Henry Paul has been kicking well. And I think he got kicking boots in his Christmas stocking yesterday. 14-0.
As 96.
Andy Haig plays the ball. That's Prescott. Gets away from Henry Paul. It's a good run this from Steve Prescott. It had to be a good tackle from Robinson to keep him out. Now this is a big opportunity for Saints. Waring helps the ball wide. Vivas over the top. It's Anderson. And further over the top. He was looking for the winger Riley. He just about got him. It was the best pass.
It was a bad pass. He went behind him. But what a great run there from Steve Prescott. He left the Wigan defence just swarm all over the floor. They were going too high, especially Mick Cassidy.
That's the last tackle for St Helens. 27 metres made, and most of them by Steve Prescott. Waring dabs it into the corner. Robinson missed it. It was a good job that Edwards was there.
Good sweeping by the experienced Sean Edwards. Paul made a bit of a meal of it, but great run from Connolly.
He releases Radlinski, who's got a fire with him, who in turn has got Connolly with him. Connolly, who started this move, gets the pass out to Cowie, who takes them up the middle.
Tremendous football skills there, and also from a prop forward, Neil Cowie. He showed a lot of skill there.
Twigamala takes something to bring him down, doesn't it?
Well, there you see 4 Saints players going to Twigamala. That means there's got to be an overlap somewhere on the defensive line.
O'Connor will take it down the middle. Henry Paul wanted it and got it. A big hole opens up for Henry Paul. Desperate defence again for St Helens. Martin Hall, Sean Edwards, Simon Horton. Last tackle for Wigan. 92 metres made. Can they get right over the line with Cowie? Good tackling. Good defence from Saints.
Tremendous tackle by Simon Booth. That's the way to do it. The short ball onto Neil Cowie from Edwards.
Prescott was wrestled to the floor. Look at that defence again. O'Connor and Cassidy pushing Johnson back towards the 20-metre line.
Do you see the problem that they've got when the forwards are trying to cart the ball out of the danger area for Saints? Even the 3/4 from Wigan's defence are forcing them back.
Last tackle, and Saints not out of their own half. 26 metres made. Vivas will kick again desperately downfield. Connolly collects. Sets off on a little run himself, Gary Connolly. They can't put a hand on him. Now they do. It's a good tackle in the end from Andy Haig. Oh, Horton just bounced them off. He's got support from Radlinski. Edwards. They're swarming forward. Wigan. Oh, fire. Quinnell. I wouldn't have questioned the referee then if he'd have called obstruction then. Quinnell. Try. And St Helens are furious. Did O'Fire hold the ball or did he give it to Quinnell? It matters not. Quinnell's got his second try of the season, of the afternoon.
Well, unusual this one, but look at the inside pass from Edwards. See how they just sucked Phil Waring back on the inside. Now then, he held it. That would have been an obstruction to mine. That was a rugby union style move. He used his body, then released it. Referee Stuart Cummins. Either way, though, Saints should have stopped the big fella going over. He held it there. That is obstruction. He just puts his body on the line there. No way in the world that Danny Arnold could get to him. And he's every right to complain to the referee Stuart Cummins. This should not be a try. The Saints fans are booing, and they've every right. But let's not take away the skill from that. Superb backing up from Martin Hall. But that is obstruction. Come on, Stuart. Well, Mr. Cummins, a few Saints players won't be wishing you Merry Christmas after that. Deliberate. Look, he shields himself, then takes 3 or 4 steps back. How on earth could Danny Arnold get anywhere near? Wigan don't need help like that.
Take nothing away from Scott Quinnell, though. It took some scoring.
The problem is, though, most of the defence had stood still.
Henry Paul adds the extras. And Wigan very much in the box seat, as we thought perhaps they would be against this young St Helens team. Over half an hour gone, they lead by 20 points to 0. And the Saints, it's quite some time since they have beaten Wigan in the Championship. And they're having difficulty here getting out of their own half every time they have the ball. And of course, with the new rules, the only time they kicked off in this match was at the kick-off. It's a brave effort from the young kids. They've made a change. Paul Matheson is on, number 16. He just played the ball there. And it was inevitable that Eric Hughes, Steve-O, would mix and match with his substitutes.
Well, he's just trying to contain Wigan now. He knows that they are just about ready to run riot. He's got to bring on fresh legs as much as he can. He's got to keep them going, try to lift their spirits. But in front of this large crowd, it's not the easiest thing in the world. But to be fair, Eddie, this Wigan outfit, they haven't panicked. They just absorbed the early punishment, which they knew they'd get from the St Helens youngsters. Real professional outfit. They've shared the work again. The skills of Edwards, Henry Paul, creative. And they've got the finishers.
Martin Hall is the dummy half. Edwards clips one over the top. They're chasing this. Problem here for Prescott, he's totally surrounded. And he had to take the tackle from Radlinski. Well, their last success of any note here at Central Park against Wigan. How about that for a challenge on Danny Arnold from Twiggamala? But their last success of any note here was in the Premiership. Their last league win against Wigan came 3 years ago on Boxing Day at their own ground, Knowsley Road. Their last win here in April 1989 in that Premiership. The last league win here on Boxing Day 1987. Steve-O, a long time between Christmas or Easter drinks.
Well, there's not any time for festivities, I'm afraid, for this St Helens outfit. You just look through the back line and the three-quarter line of Wigan. You look at Vaiga Twiggamala, and he looks to be bigger than anyone that Saints have in the forwards.
Yeah, it's giants against boys, isn't it, at the moment?
The old adage, isn't it? A good big un will beat a good little un.
Cassidy takes the tackle. Hall is the dummy half. Quinnell lost it. Referee will pull them back for knock on.
Quinnell said he had it stolen from him.
He's getting a right rollicking from his captain, Sean Edwards, too, by the way.
Well, you saw there on the replay that there were a few fingertips involved in that football. But he should have gone to ground. He shouldn't really have tried to get that ball away in heavy traffic.
Straight up the middle goes Kevin O'Loughlin. This is his full debut. Andy Haig to Phil Vivas. His debut came quite some time ago. Danny Arnold. Cassidy with the tackle.
That's good support play by the full-back.
Cunningham. Oh, stopped in his tracks by the tackle from Henry Paul. Arnold at dummy half. Into the arms of Vivas. Vivas with a long pass. finds O'Loughlin again. Another pass out of the back door. That one was made. Andy Haig gets it away to Chris Morley. Morley with support from Riley. Good attack from St Helens. Good challenge needed by Connolly, and it was. Wigan desperately trying to keep the Saints out. Last tackle. Oh, Beavers dropped it.
Just lost the marbles at the vital moment.
Most experienced man on the field for Saints at 31.
He tried to take a step on there. Teddy O'Connor was beaming down upon him. Well, that's the best passage of play we've seen from the Saints. Tremendous support play by Danny Arnold, followed up by Chris Morley working very hard. He did well to send Mike Riley away. But look at this tackle. Henry Paul, crunch time. Gareth Cunningham, welcome to the big time.
Quinnell will cart the ball up again for Wigan. This time, though, and probably for one of the few occasions in this first half that I can certainly remember, the Saints defending the run from Horton inside the Wigan quarter. 2 tackles gone. And the right mess. But he had the ankle tap by Cunningham.
And the substitute Paul Matheson was in there, just interfered at the last moment. Well, maybe he didn't. But it's just not going right for them, is it? This Saints outfit, as if it isn't a big enough hill to climb.
But the one thing is that Wigan have not found touch with the penalty, so Saints have got the ball back. They're 20 metres from the Wigan line. What a try would do to their confidence. Cunningham.
Well, he took a big knock, didn't he? The hooker, but he's showing a lot of courage. He's working hard.
That's Waring, and this is Vivers. And there's Morley. And the man supporting was Haig. Andy Haig, man of the match in the Academy Cup final against Wigan at Old Trafford last May. 3 tries that day. Has he almost come up with a try there for Andy Latham? Wigan defence say no. Waring stabs one through, and Henry Paul, well, he was confident enough to pick up, and he received that for his pains, and he took a right clout then as he went down under the challenge from these 3.
Well, he just won't give the towel in, will he? How many players would have taken the easy option and just knocked the ball dead in goal? Not this guy, Henry Paul. He suffered under the weight of the tackle. He's probably hit the gravel there at the back.
And I think
you can see the left arm just went right onto the gravel.
Saints have the ball back, of course, from the dropout. It wasn't the best dropout in the world from Wigan, and the Saints are back on the charge here with Vivers, as Henry Paul still receives treatment, so Wigan playing with a man short at the moment. Vivers, in his benefit year, he finds the prop forward Devine. Wigamala just gets over the collar and drags Devine to the floor. Waring again. Poor attempt by O'Loughlin. There's Waring again, the dummy half, and now Vivers turns the ball back. O'Loughlin loses it. Connolly picks up. Referee will bring them back for the knock-on.
Lost control of the football. Vivers there, sensible play. Nice little pass back onto the inside. He's the main man on this Saints side. The inside on the centre, O'Loughlin.
Edwards feeds the scrum. We're in the last minute of normal time in this first half. Here's a fire. Martin of Fire sees a gap and decides to have a Boxing Day run, taking on Danny Arnold. And well done, Danny Arnold. And hard luck, press photographer over there.
Well, it was a tremendous break there. Martin of Fire, he really should have stepped on the gas. 5 years ago, you would not have seen him for dust, but Danny Arnold, tremendous stuff. Oh, I'd like a print of that photograph. Well, he appears to be okay. He knows it's tough out there. He's got a smile on his face. But wonderful work by Danny Arnold. Who would have thought that anyone could catch Martin Offiah? Oh, get over.
Well, thankfully, cameraman and player is all right. But after that run, and the sight of Martin Offiah going into the photographer, the St Helens supporters behind the posts, they're celebrating as though they've won the match. It was a super run back from Danny Arnold. He's only 18, the young St Helens fullback, but he's been playing in the first team for the last few weeks. Now that bounced off the thigh of Twigamala, and the referee will bring it back for the knock-on. Or will he? No, he'll allow St Helens to play on as they picked up the loose ball.
Well, it is pretty cold out there, but Twigamala normally takes that on the half volley, doesn't he? It would have been play on. Charge down, and look at that. He had it. Would have been try time.
Supporters now are chanting that there's only one Danny Arnold. It just shows you what a chase back on a superstar like Martin Offiah means to the St Helens public. That's half-time. A half-time that I suppose many will say inevitably has been totally in Wigan's pocket. 2 tries from the Welshman Scott Quinnell have helped, along with one from Jason Robinson, have helped the champions to a 20 points to nil advantage at half-time. Well, they're on their way to a 7th successive league title and on their way to victory over their closest rivals. So 40 minutes of this last Boxing Day fixture in the Stones Bidder Centenary Championship to go, and Wigan, the champions-elect, restart ahead by 20 points to nil at half-time. And both coaches have made some changes during the half-time interval. St Helens, there's one of the changes. Richard Shield has come on. The tackle there by Martin Hall. Mike Riley with the little run. Shield has come on, by the way, for Chris Morley for St Helens. This, meanwhile, is Mick Devine, the prop forward, greeted. First challenge of his second half by the tackle from Vainga Twigamala.
Twigamala's put in some big hits in the first half and is starting where they left off. That was a big one then on Devine.
Beavers under pressure from Edwards. He gets the ball away. Connolly is underneath and will set off on a run. Just dumps Phil Waring on his backside. Couldn't get away from Beavers though. Here now is the Wigan change, which is Rob Smythe, who has come on for the injured Henry Paul. And that's Simon Horton, who's grounded by those 3. Smythe again. Rob Smythe, only 18. 2 tries in extra time against Widnes in the Regal Trophy. Edwards. This is out one. Oh, the little header from Gary Connolly.
Well, it was pretty high, but he should have taken it. A man of his class, not happy with it, rightly so, realising that they had the overlap.
Andrew Johnson has come on also for Terry O'Connor for Wigan. You may have noticed. Just backing up the changes made by the 2 coaches. Chris Morley has gone off for Saints. Richard Shield comes on for him. Shield, a substitute against Sheffield earlier this month, the second rower.
Pretty difficult though for the Saints coach Eric Hughes to have that discussion at half-time. We'll probably say to these youngsters, look, go out and enjoy it. Just fill in the warmth and the experience.
Oh, that's a lovely ball to Simon Booth, and there's a chance for Booth here to get over for the try, and Booth does. What a start for St Helens. It was a lovely ball inside to Booth, and look at the passion from Simon Booth for scoring that try. You thought it was a match winner. A terrific try and a beautiful ball that set him free.
Good play by the standoff Phil Waring. You see how he just sucks in the Wigan defence to him there. It was the second rower, Mick Cassidy, that got caught short, but look at the pace. He just hesitated for one moment there, but decided to pin the ears back. And the loose forward, Simon Booth. Beautiful pass, great timing. Just has a look there and decides, I'll make it. Nothing that Connolly could do. That is a super try. But the skill there of Phil Waring. Little touch there. Sean Edwards failed to fill into the gap. Bang, let's go for the corner. Well done, youngster. Tremendous stuff.
What a great try, and look at the reaction from Simon Booth. Well, he's been on the rack with the St Helens youngsters all afternoon, but that moment he enjoyed it, didn't he? Only his second full game of the season, and certainly a try that will live long in his memory. Steve Prescott with the conversion attempt, didn't reach the posts, but the Saints have got something for all their efforts.
There they are, the two defenders coming through quickly. Sean Edwards went too sharp. Should have just held back that split second. It was enough for the angle to appear, and this man went flying through it. Good work from Phil Waring. Superb pass to the loose forward, Simon Booth.
So 20 points to 4. Good start for St Helens in this second half. As you say, Steve-O, Eric Hughes will have just said to his young charges, go out and enjoy it.
Yep, soak up the atmosphere, and that really will have lifted their spirits. That's with a great try. But let's not forget that it usually jolts the Wigan outfit into doing something spectacular.
Great run from Quinnell, terrific run from Quinnell. Well, he didn't play that ball properly. It's got to be a penalty.
He wasn't allowed to play it properly. Phil Vivers still had hold of his leg.
Connolly has taken a quick tap penalty, gets the pass away to Robinson, who attacks the opposite way, spins away and tries to get away from Shield.
You can see there Vivers still hanging on to the big second rower.
Connolly to a fire, applies the brakes and tries this way. Took a swinging arm and bounced it off, got the pass into Smythe, and the referee will pull them back for that swinging arm. It's a penalty to Wigan, and he wants a word with the offending player, and he's telling him, keep your arms down. Kevin O'Loughlin.
Went too high, did the big centre.
Quinnell on a hat-trick, and Quinnell so short. Thought he had another hat-trick in the bag then, the Welshman. Cowie. Thinking of the pass, spinning under pressure from Shield and Phil Waring, and wants to get on with it. Edwards, Robinson, Martin Hall in a dummy half. Edwards again, misses out Smythe, misses out Cowie, finds Cassidy, finds a fire. He gets it away to Horton. Horton, try! The response from Wigan to the try from Simon Booth is Simon Horton's 10th four-pointer of this centenary season.
Nice angle run from Sean Edwards. Ball back in Dyer. Cassidy kept it alive. Barner fired. I thought he'd probably taken the wrong option there. But Simon Horton has all the skills. Look at that. Going far too high to begin with. Just stepped on the inside. Handed one off. See how Edwards runs the angle, runs the dummy runner. Cassidy was looking for the man coming late. He wasn't there until Martin Fire came on the scene. But look at the step there. Went far too high. He really has come of age, hasn't he, Simon Horton? Tremendous player. The probing's there from Sean Edwards. Good play, individual stuff. Upper body strength there, fending two men off. Well worked try.
Horton's try. As I said, the response to St Helens with their four-pointer. And Martin Hall has taken over goal-kicking responsibilities now because Henry Paul is off and injured. Welsh international. Martin Hall, and he gets the extras. One of the most improved players in the game is Martin Hall.
There's Sean Edwards. When he runs the angle like this, it really does put pressure on the defence. See how it just peeled out one of them from that straight line. And once they kept the ball alive, you can see the Saints defence scrambling, and the upper body strength did the rest.
And Martin Hall will restart. Former Rochdale Hornet and Oldham Welsh international. Since he's come to this club, he has been a tremendous servant. And what's more, he forces another error from Mike Riley, who allowed the ball to bounce. Saints with head and feed. I was going to say feed, but maybe that's not the right word to use in those circumstances. The fire going high on Riley.
Luckily he used the shoulder. There's a big fella, Martin Walker, on for Saints.
Yes, another man on his debut, Martin Walker, number 17 on his back. And he has come on for Paul Matheson, another of the substitutes who has gone off to the blood bin.
Ruthless defence though, this Wigan outfit, aren't they? They move up so quickly. One straight line. Look at them there applying the pressure. They really left St Helens no option but to go on the blind side.
Rob Smith picks up the kick downfield, takes on Waring, takes on O'Loughlin, takes the tackle. Martin Hall is into dummy half. Connolly now. The tackle on him by Martin Walker. Hall to Robinson and Cowie.
Once again we see the ease that Wigan get over the advantage line. Quick play the ball. They really are moving forward just before Saints can get that defence set up.
Edwards. Little dink over the top. Robinson's onside. He's got a ton of support with him. Cassidy gets the ball down, I think, with a bit of help from the post and the defenders, and the try is given. It was almost like suspended animation for a moment then. Robinson fielded the kick, he was way onside, and Cassidy with the support. An easy try in the end.
Wonderful skills from Sean Edwards. They realised that Saints had no sweeper. The dink over the top, it's a planned move. Passed the ball to perfection, and Scott Quinnell came along and said, get over. That'll do. This is quality. A planned move they practice so often at training. Cool, calm and collected. It's going to be a struggle until the big fella comes in. Bang, get over. Good stuff.
Mike Cassidy with the try then for Wigan. And Martin Hall now will try and add his second conversion from bang in front. He's a Welsh international, and Welshmen, well, they all can kick a goal. 32 points to 4, Wigan.
They see the referee all on his own. No sweeper from Saints. They were caught short. That was a beautiful kick over the top. And good support play. They were clearing up, weren't they? Good play by Mike Riley, and then bang. Quinnell said, let's get a bit of weight in here.
4 of the 5 Wigan tries come from the back row forwards today. Well, 32 points to 4, and still plenty of this match left. And from a St Helens point of view, it doesn't look good, despite the start that Simon Booth gave them. The youngsters, at the end of the day, will perhaps run out of a bit of puff, and it could be that Wigan will march on to more points here. Certainly, St Helens are having to play Wigan in their own half. That's 4 tackles gone. This is Simon Booth. Will run again from Booth, and he gets them up to halfway and stands in the tackle, releases the pass, And that's good play from O'Loughlin.
He's worked hard, and so has Simon Booth, the loose forward.
And so has Cunningham. Last tackle from St Helens' point of view, the dab forward, and Connolly eventually took the tackle.
Good play, and as you mentioned, he has played well. Unusual position for the youngster.
Here's Rob Smythe, dragging Wigan again into St Helens territory. Second tackle, that is, and they're back in the danger zone. Quinnell!
Well, things getting a little bit warm out there. He's had a big game though, hasn't he, Quinnell? See the flaying arm coming over the top. Wallop. Well, a big substitute. Martin Walker has made himself felt since he's been out there. He's trying to make a name for himself in the last couple of minutes.
Edwards just ankle tapped. Hall, Robinson, Johnson gets it away to Edwards. Here's Cassidy. The tackle on him from Walker.
What will Edwards come up with now?
Here he is. Connolly. Cowie. Flamboyant stuff from the prop forward. Good job that Twiggamala's there. Smythe is in support. Twiggamala just stepped out of one challenge. Attracting another 4 St Helens players to bring him down.
Attracts the 4, quick play the ball, long ball out wide, perhaps it's try time.
Edwards, Robinson, Connolly, Radlinski, fire. Good tackling by Waring.
Was it ever? Copybook stuff.
Edwards again. They're laying siege to the St Helens line, and Horton scored. Second try in the afternoon for Simon Horton. 11 in all this season.
It's all about keeping the ball alive, and when Wigan do that, then any defence in the world is going to be stretched. But the individual skills of the loose forward Simon Horton on display there. He really is a great player. Long ball out wide, look at the step there. There was just nothing that Martin Walker could do with that. He really has style, graceful runner, wonderful balance. That really was superb stuff.
Well, his try against Oldham last week was his first since September. Now here's Martin Hall again. No problems for the Wigan hooker. And Wigan 38, the Saints 4. So Chris Radlinski restarts with Wigan nursing a very comfortable 34-point advantage against this young St Helens side. A St Helens side that shows so many changes. It's probably actually better to tell you that there are 16 current first-teamers out injured for the Saints this afternoon, and they have a Regal Trophy semi-final coming up on Saturday. But Steve Eric Hughes says that the injuries are genuine, and this is the best squad he has available in the club. What on earth's going wrong?
Well, if that is the case, then all these fans who have paid good, hard-earned money to watch what should have been a better contest. Let's not take anything away from the effort from the St Helens youngsters, but they are completely outclassed. And for all those officials out there, I do hope that they're very happy with themselves, because greed has taken over. We were supposed to only play each other once during this season so we could prepare and have good players for the Super League. And what have we got? We've got walking wounded, a star attraction. And the fans deserve better. Greed, that's all it is.
As you say, take nothing away from the St Helens youngsters. They have battled bravely on, but they shouldn't be put in this position.
Precisely. The fans don't want to watch it. Okay, we've seen some superb games. We've seen some superb tries and some good football and some good effort. But that's not what this derby game should be about.
Well, it's a derby game with so much passion and commitment previously. And you're quite right that this is the ultimate derby, the very last Boxing Day fixture between the two. And we've not got a contest.
Talking of which, that really was a big mess up there from Gary Connolly and Redlinski, overplaying it.
Other important factors just reaching me, Steve. There are only just over 19,000 in here today. And really, the supporters, I suppose, with a 24,000 capacity for a match that normally gets to capacity, the supporters of the big league are perhaps voting with their feet on this one.
Well, it appears that way, but 19,000 should have got a better contest.
Let him off now, let him up, please off on me.
I know it's a catch-22 situation. Some of the players, they do get paid enormous amounts of money, so therefore clubs have to try to get revenue in, but not at the stake of having to play twice a week. As I mentioned it, they're walking wounded, and it's not fair to the fans.
Still over a quarter of this match to go, 38 points to 4. As Cassidy takes it up again for Wigan. Martin Hall goes in at dummy half. Quinnell again, he's hunting the hat-trick, you know. Scott Quinnell.
He's running like a three-quarter, isn't he? He's enjoying this. I'm not so sure that the Saints' defence are.
Cowie bounces off tacklers all over the place. Last tackle for Wigan, another 52 metres made. Edwards, Twigamala, look out, ball out wide, Smythe, try. So easy. And Wigan top the 42-point mark. Rob Smythe, 4 tries this season.
Great finish from Smythe, but put this down to Sean Edwards. Look how he attracted Simon Booth. In and out by Twigamala, 2 men. Wonderful positioning. The substitute Smythe in for a great try. But watch how Sean Edwards just attracts the defence to him and offloads at the right moment. He caught one for his corner. 2 men going for Twigamala, allowed the space. Quinnell's strength though, what a great game this guy's having. It's taken him a while to come of age in rugby league. But when you've got skill like this, look at that. He puts his body on the line there to Sean Edwards. He knows he's going to get one for his corner, but it makes the overlap. And that is why he's such a great professional.
Martin Hall couldn't drag that one in, but he's got a smile on his face, and no wonder, because he's just looked at the scoreboard and he sees Wigan ahead by 42 points to 4 over their greatest rivals. And here comes Andy Haig to run it back. This is a good spell. Oh, and Cowie's getting stuck in. Oh, well, that's crazy. There's no need for this. There really isn't. And Stuart Cummins standing there and not getting involved. That's the new way, the referees. We used to see them diving in. No more. The referee just stands back, lets it sort itself out, and he'll pick somebody out. And it's got to be the name of Cowie on his lips.
Little doubt it's Neil Cowie. Well, did Santa Claus not visit Neil Cowie this year? Oh, well, maybe there's been something said earlier in the game, but that is not the festive spirit we want. He just went straight in, and then for some unknown reason throws the left, throws another left, still hasn't connected yet. Bang. Perhaps he thought that the centre Andy Haig's elbow went in, but either way, you give and take in this game, and you don't give like that.
And he's gone to the back pocket, has Stuart Cummins. It will be yellow at least. It's red. Neil Cowie goes, sent off by referee Stuart Cummins.
He knows he is in for a real dressing down from his coach Graham West. 42 points to 4, and he's been given the sucker punch. Deary me. The retaliator so often is the man that gets caught, but he should have had more experience than that. He didn't like the way that the elbow went through from the centre, Andy Hay.
And St Helens enjoying their best period of the match, and this is a lovely run down the touchline. Great tackle though out wide by Smythe, and Steve Prescott thought he was on his way. He just clipped the line. Good decision by the touch judge.
Good defence there. Rob Smythe allowed him the open side, the touchline side. He knew he had the strength and the speed.
Well, what has the sending off incident done then to this match? All it's done at the moment is given Wigan a penalty. The Steve-O, the Regal Trophy semi-final for St Helens this Saturday. The Saturday after, it's Wigan's semi-final against Leeds. And has that incident cost Cowie his place in that semi?
It sure will have.
Robinson. Suddenly the game has got a little bite about it. Connolly. Tackling back by Hay. Of fire. And here now is Johnson again. Ankle tap by Hay. Dermot the dummy half.
Keep your eye out for Quinnell. He was running up there on the outside. The ball didn't get to him.
Edwards. Robinson. Over the top from Robinson to Cassidy. Cassidy will score. His second. Well, it's an afternoon of 2 try-feats for Wigan. And the second for Mick Cassidy. And the St Helens bubble is just pricked.
Easy way. Keep the ball alive again. Look at that. Running the different angles. Jason Robinson's had a fine game. There's just nothing that Beavers could do about that. He knows it wasn't the best attempt. But they're a tired outfit, the Saints. Very tired indeed. The enthusiasm there. Sean Edwards doing the run around, Robinson coming back, and the big second rower in for a good try. Sheer skills. Look at that. He comes inside, looks for work. He really does work hard, and so does this guy. One of the best in the business. Great support player.
Kick was missed by Martin Hall. He hit the post. So it's 46-4. Now then, you might have noticed there's 1 or 2 fashion hints come out from this Wigan side today. You, I'm sure, have seen plasters draped across the noses. I wonder what that's all about. Bill Arthur has been investigating for us.
Well, Wigan always searching for something that's going to give them a bit of an advantage. Have gone for something called Breathe Easy, which apparently is they've picked up from American football. Now you might notice that several of them have got these strips of what looks like plaster across their noses. Well, that's exactly what it is, and it's meant to open the nostrils so that they can breathe more easily and just get that little bit of extra pace into their game. It's obviously done a bit of good this afternoon.
Sure has. They're always looking, aren't they, Steve-O, for something that perhaps others haven't got.
Opens the nostrils. I wonder if Neil Cowie was wearing one. He certainly showed a lot of fire out of it.
Charge down by Dermot. And Radlinski gets the possession back. Didn't he pick that ball up well?
Oh, good juggling that there from the youngster. Well, every time that Martin O'Fire gets a football, the Saints defence just goes electric. They don't want him to score.
Well, he scored so often against them, hasn't he? Here is Andy Craig, just on, the Academy International. Dermot is in at dummy half. Now Johnson took on Beavers, and Beavers stood up to the task well. Dermot again. Quinnell for the hat-trick. Quinnell! He gets it! Scott Quinnell's been hunting the hat-trick all afternoon. fantastic talent is Scott Quinnell, and 3 tries in the afternoon against the Saints, and the third takes them to 50.
And that was well worked. He knew he was going to be loitering there on the blind side, and he knew he was going to have the strength. Well played there. Martin Dermott knows only too well the importance of running from the dummy half, and when you bring the big prop forward to him, you see the Saints just getting back there, releases it at the right moment, like a 10-ton truck coming at you there, and this is what it looks like. Bang! He's had a top game. He's definitely arrived in the big league, and isn't he happy?
And Martin Hall adds the extra 2, and the Saints, who won 52-20 in August, have humiliated St Helens again today, 52-4. But remember, the Saints fielding this young, inexperienced side today.
They see Martin Dermott. You can see that the marker's slow to come forward. He'll put him under pressure, running across, flicks the pass out, bang. Well done, the Welshman. Very happy indeed. And Wigan hit the 52 mark. It's been a great performance though from Wigan. We said so many times that this St Helens outfit really have tried, but they've been totally outclassed. Far too much speed, far too much skill, and definitely far too much strength over their opponents.
And by some way, it's the biggest winning margin in a Wigan St Helens derby. Let's now go downstairs and hear from Simon Horton.
2 tries for Simon Horton, a satisfying performance from your point of view?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. It's been a few games since I've scored a couple of tries, so it's been good to score 2 today, yeah.
Not bad when you outscore Martin Afire.
No, I've been catching him up soon. I don't know how many he's scored, but I'm not far behind now. Scott scored 3, so he's well in front.
For a while, though, it was a plucky performance from a very understrength St Helens side, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, though. We've said all week we weren't bothered who played on the St Helens side. We weren't bothered even up to today. We didn't look at the team sheet before we came out. We weren't bothered who played for St Helens, so you know, we would have played like this regardless who was playing. We've been ready for this game all week.
And Scott Quinnell's been ready for it all week. Scott Quinnell gets 4. He will remember the last Boxing Day fixture between the Wigan and St Helens teams, because Quinnell comes up with a 4-try effort, his first in the big league.
Keep the ball alive. Edwards back on the inside. Martin Hall forever in support. Long ball out wide. You'd have put your house on this one. Look me in the eyes and get out of the way. Danny Arnold, no chance. Determination etched on the man's face. Back on the inside. They split so many defences there, but good support play there. Scott Quinnell, bang. Tremendous stuff. They just keep it alive, don't they? He had to put himself there. Oh, don't meet me on a dark night. Ah.
Well, Quinnell got 3 last season against Hull, and now he's got 4 against St Helens. And it's now a record score by Wigan against the Saints. 56, and in a second it will be 58. Because Martin Hall will surely kick this, and Martin Hall most certainly does. 58 points to 4.
Look at the slack marking there. The ball's going to come back on the inside. It's a huge gap. Very slow and tired defence there from the second marker. But Scott Quinnell really had to put himself there. That was great positioning, and you can't get any better finishing than that. The big smile says it all.
And he's got the breathers as well. He's got the plaster on his nose. I think he'll always have a plaster on his nose after this. That's 4 tries for Scott Quinnell. And Wigan now have run in 110 points in their 2 league meetings this season against the old enemy. It's been cruel for St Helens.
It's always going to be an uphill task for them. But Wigan, as we heard from Simon Horton, we don't care who was playing against us. We went out to win. The professionalism showing through again. They put the Saints side on the rack, and they finished them off well.
St Helens' agony is almost over. 7 seconds plus stoppages. O'Loughlin, who has run really strongly. There have been one or two little nuggets, I think, for Eric Hughes in all this decimation of a 58-4 defeat. Waring is without doubt one of them. So too O'Loughlin. And Danny Arnold, the full-back, and the forwards haven't done so badly either, but they've been totally overwhelmed.
Just effort. You cannot win a game with just effort. You need skill, you need strength, you need brains. I'm not saying that this Saints outfit, this youngsters won't come on in the near future, and with experience today will help them, but they're a long way off from being in the big league.
Here's Robinson. The ball bounces, and who has it? Rob Smythe. But the referee will surely pull them back for the knock-on.
Not the best ball out wide there, but the first knock-on did come from the Wigan side. Rob Smythe just overrun the football. He's had a fine game though since he's come on. Done a lot of work. Oops, somebody's down in the scrum. Let's not get silly, boys.
Referee saying that to the packs of forwards as they scrum down too. Here's Andy Haig. Just the one unsavoury incident then with Neil Cowie being sent off, but it doesn't prevent a record-breaking Wigan victory here at Central Park. Doesn't matter who the Saints turned out, Scott Quinnell will relish the 4 tries that he has scored. And Vainga Twigamala, it really has been men against boys from a Wigan point of view. Good to see that the players from both sides shake hands, and all the action and all the war of the past 80 minutes has been forgotten. Sean Edwards returns then to this Wigan side and leads them to a 58 points to 4 triumph. 19,500 here. Quinnell with his 4 tries. Horton, Cassidy 2 apiece. Robinson and Smythe. Paul, before he went off injured, with 4 goals. Martin Hall with 5. And the sole try for St Helens from their loose forward, Simon Booth. Now we can check out the other results in the Centenary Championship this Boxing Day. Bradford and Halifax postponed. Oldham against Warrington postponed. Leeds, courtesy of their undersoil heating at Headingley, beating Castleford by 28 points to 16. And what's it mean then at the top of the table? Well, quite simple. Wigan will be just about the champions if they beat Warrington here on Sky Sports on New Year's morning.